I don't even know this. All right, folks. 8818 has returned. It's finally showed up. Got some good news before we start this video. Daniel, Logic of Authority, lost this video. Kevin Ship sent it to me. YouTube got it kicked off. Got it took off because the truth was revealed 2 years ago. I showed this to a friend of mine and they thought I was crazy. I showed it to my dad. My dad even agreed with me. If you sit there and mock Jesus Christ, you can see the signs. Thanks for the 3 likes. He didn't just mock him. He's with Jeffrey Epstein, folks. And if you got any kids that's about to start school in 2 weeks, their plan is to have pedophiles as teachers, pedophiles on the school buses for the school bus drivers. Just found out they're short on school bus drivers. I wonder why. Maybe because of the Parkland shooting or the drone shooting. I just want to be honest with you. This needs to go out. This needs to be shared. We need to quit fiddle faddling around. We're running out of time. We're waiting on one thing and one thing only. When this bomb goes off in the White House or at with Congress and the Vice President and the President, there will not be nobody in there. You'll hear on the news everybody got wiped out, which it won't be the truth. They'll be going underground. Okay? And then somebody will take its spot, and it looks like the signs pointed to Barack Hussein Obama, aka Barry Serrato from Kenya. But this is very, very emotional. This is very, very. I didn't know if I was going to do this video or not. I did it on Facebook. I got a lot of views on it. So, and they're sharing it. Crazy. Thank you. You know who you are. Thank you for sharing, everyone. And the people that's been backing me and behind me through this whole thing, I really appreciate it. Even the new subscribers. Just do me a favor. Don't do anything spiritual on there. They've been blocking everybody and kicking everybody off. If you did not know, we lost Dutch Sense last night and Alex Jones 2 days ago. So please, everyone, I don't want to lose you. I want y'all to keep on watching the news that I'm doing. I don't usually do these kind of videos all the time, but today, heck with it. I don't care anymore. Let's do this. All right. And if I don't have problems on doing this, please, I'm not perfect at this. I'm doing it my way because YouTube is not paying me. YouTube is not paying no one. And I thought you might want to know that. Let me fix this. My remote just went down. All right. Let's do this. Y'all ready? Tell me if you can see the screen. If you can't see the screen, I understand, but I'm trying my best to do this for y'all. We had a storm pass by a while ago, and it finally calmed down. I was going to do this a lot earlier, but this is going to be interesting. Y'all thought it was Obama. Y'all thought it was Prince Williams. Y'all thought it was who else? George Soros. He's part of it. He's actually doing all the stuff. All right, I'll pray for you, man. But I'm just telling you right now, they're gonna kick you off. They're going to block you for putting God on there. Just thought you might want to know that. I tried to warn you, and I guess you didn't want to listen. And quite frankly, if you don't listen with the name that you have on your YouTube, we know you don't believe in God. So just thought you might want to know that. I guess I'm like Tony Stewart. You're Joey Logano, and I'm Tony Stewart, and I'm going to bust your ass. Ain't that right, Troller? All right, let's do this. Share viral, everyone. Y'all need to share this. This video got deleted by Logic of Authority from YouTube. And now I'm bringing it back. Thanks to Kevin Shipp. He's the one that sent it to me. Let's do this. And if you don't know who Kevin Shipp is, and you've been under a rock, he's ex-CIA that got poisoned by the NWO. Let's do this.
Who is Donald Trump? No, who is he really? Who does he believe he is? In this video, we're going to look for the signs and symbols. A mother named Mary, born and raised on a little island in Stornoway, Scotland. Raised in a meager hut, as you see before you. Immigrated to the United States on March 10th, 1942 to Brooklyn, New York. Other immigration papers showing that her mother and father from Scotland. Mary was married.
I don't care what you're doing right now. I'm trying to work.
Christ Trump. Mary and Christ. Here's an image of Mary and Christ Trump. So who is this man? Who does he believe he is? What place does he hold in history? We are going to look at many signs and symbols as to who Donald J. Trump is. He was born 14th of June, 1946, current age of 70. On Donald's birthday, June 14th of 2016, he flew on a campaign stop into Charlotte, North Carolina, with much fanfare. You may ask, why Charlotte? Why is that significant? Well, because there's another place other than the campaign stop that Donald J. Trump wanted to visit. He wanted to visit the Bank of America Center. And he did, on June 14th, visit the Bank of America Center. The Bank of America Center you can see here at the top with the burning bush, the biblical burning bush atop the Bank of America Center. You may ask why that is significant. Well, just remember that. We're going to get into that now. This is a mural, or three murals, or you can look at it as one inside of the Bank of America Center. We're going to look at all three sections and do a little analysis of each section. One section having more to do with the Donald than anything else. That would be the one on the right. However, we're going to look at the one on the left yet. The one on the left you might look at it as a sign of the times. You see the farmer or the person standing up above ground, and you see the people there below ground. What they are doing is digging tunnels. A sign of the times. I have a video that I put out. You can click the link up above that will show you, actually I put out 6 videos related to it, and that is the tunneling that has taken place to build elite facilities for the elites of the world, just like is spoken about in the Bible. These tunnels are going to be used currently as freeway systems, FEMA systems, emergency systems, and worse. If we look at the center panel is a little bit more difficult and is not the focus of this video. But I believe the upper area likely has something to do with the LBGT community. The lower part of it has to do with order out of chaos. As you can see by looking at that, it looks extremely chaotic. And each person doing their own thing could be identified as various things that we're dealing with today. Our main interest, though, however, in this mural is this right-hand side. You can see the full eclipse of the moon, or of the sun by the moon, there. You see Donald Trump was born on June 14th, 1946, the exact time of a lunar eclipse, or a full solar eclipse. The next solar eclipse that will be on August the 21st of 2017 of next year. It will be a complete eclipse across the entire United States. Something most of us have never seen before. You may notice some of the interesting numbers of 88 and 777 that we'll get into. You may find it interesting that it is 11 months and 11 days between 9/11 and 8/21 of next year. Some of you may find it interesting that it's 69 days between 6/14, his birth, and 8/21, the eclipse time. And some of you may be a little lost, but I ask you to hang in here. There's enough that you're going to understand. Do you see the burning bush in the background behind the boy? Like the burning bush on top of the Bank of America Center? That is not a coincidence. As a matter of fact, it's very important. You see, you may also see the bride of the Christ on the left-hand side there, being taken up. Another interesting aspect of this mural. So the burning bush, where does it come into play in history? Well, the Presbyterians, which Donald Trump is a professed Presbyterian, see, this is a reference to the Israelites being led out of Israel by Moses. He was instructed to do this at the burning bush. Recall that maybe? Now, he was instructed to take them to the land of milk and honey. The land of milk and honey is the promised land. And where is Donald Trump these days? Well, some of you understand that he's just in New York City. He's going to Washington, D.C. But I believe the promised land is something else. You see, this right here is the rock that is inside the Rock of the Dome in Israel, in Jerusalem. It is an exact match for the western half of the United States. You can click the link above to watch the entire video about this. And we're going to take a look at a few other things about this image. You can see the way this goes together when you put two of these images side by side is it creates a pathway, the path of humanity. When I adjust the coloring, you can see that it creates what appears to be a female woman. So you have all of these things in this image, and I'm going to show you ultimately before this video is over with how this ties in exactly. Now let's take a look at his jacket, the jacket that the boy is wearing. What is this jacket? You see the buttons. You have 2 rows or several rows on each side. The way the collar is a little chop collar. Well, this is a Knights Templar jacket. The design of Knights Templar. The Knights Templar were originally the protectors of Christianity. You may notice that the Knights Templar only used the colors red and blue, the only colors that Trump wears on his ties. The Knights Templars are part of the Freemasonic system. Now you may say, well, what does this have to do with Trump on the right as a little boy and the image of the other little boy on the left? Well, I believe there's enough evidence that exists to show that Trump is a Knights Templar member. He is above being a Mason. He is beyond that system. He is an elite in public, which is unusual. Now, you may find it interesting that on Inauguration Day in January of 2017, January 20th to be exact, it will be 70 years, 7 months, and 7 days since the birth of Trump on 6/14/1946 to 1/20 of 2017. You may find it further interesting that the normal gestation of a child being born is exactly the same amount of time between 9/11, say of 2016, to 6/14 of 2017. 39 weeks and 4 days. It's right in within the week period considered to be full gestation. You see, many of us, including myself, believe that Jesus Christ's birthday was on 9/11. I'm not alone in this. As you can see, these are various images from across the web of people that believe the same thing. You may find this interesting, that on the Republican website, GOP.com, they said, "Merry Christmas to all. Over 2 millennia ago, a new hope was born into the world, a Savior who would offer the promise of salvation to all mankind. Just as the 3 wise men did on that night, this Christmas heralds a time to celebrate the good news of a new king." They're referring to Trump as the Messiah. To be the return of Christ, he would need to be the offspring of David. It says, "Blessed are those who wash their robes, that they have the right to the tree of life and may go through the gates into the city." Washing their robe is taking care of your business and keeping your life clean and doing the right things, such as what it says, blow outside of the dogs who practice magic arts and sexual immorality, murderers, adulterers, or idlers, and the loves and practices of falsehoods. It says, "I, Jesus, have sent my angel to give you the testimony for the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright morning star." And why does this have anything to do with anything? Well, there are many organizations and people out there calling Trump
is a godsend, an imperfect messenger of God, but nevertheless, a King David Hubbard.
And then you have other sites and people out there such as Jerry Falwell comparing him to King David, which is like comparing him to Christ in a way, or at least the bloodline. Or even something more interesting I want to show you. Let's say Trump spent $88 million of his own money on his campaign. Let's say Trump had 88 offices across the nation during his campaign. let's say Trump had 88 events, campaign stops during his campaign. Let's say that Trump is equal to 88 in gematria, which is a 10,000-year-old language of converting numbers and letters to language. Let's say that Donald J. Trump is 888. And to many, 888 is the number of Jesus. It's said over and over in many places that I've studied. And it has come clear to me that Donald Trump's number is 888 as well. He even has 88 on the front of his podiums everywhere he speaks. Here's another sign of the times. There will be signs in the sun and the moons and the stars, and on the earth dismay among the nations, bewildered by the roaring of the sea and the surging of the waves. And this comes just after they will fall by the edge of the sword and be led captive into all the nations, and Jerusalem will be trodden down by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. I guess you've heard about the United Nations vote when it comes to Israel. I guess you've heard that Trump is saying that he is going to move the embassy to Jerusalem. So many things to think about. I've shown you this man has a mother named Mary, a father named Christ. I've shown you that he is showing and demonstrating through his name and through his numerology and through everything that he does. 88 campaign stops, 88 million of his own money, 88 campaign locations, that his number is 888. He believes that he is the return or either the mockery of the return of Christ. I suspect the mockery of the return of Christ. I believe what you are looking at before you right now is the Antichrist.
On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. Interesting. His pretty-colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. "Oh, well," she cried, "I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman." Sighed the vicious snake. She wrapped him up cozy in a curvature silk and then laid him by the fireside with some honey and some milk. Now she hurried home from work, and that night, as soon as she arrived, she found that pretty snake she'd taken and revived. "Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the vicious snake. Now she clutched him to her bosom. "You're so beautiful," she cried. "But if I hadn't brought you in, by now you might have died." She stroked his pretty skin, and then she kissed and held him tight. But instead of saying thank you, that snake gave her a vicious bite. "Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake." "Let me in, my dear. Let me in," sighed the vicious snake. "I saved you," cried the woman, "and you've bit me. Heavens, why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Oh, Shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in. Does that make sense to anybody? Does that make any sense? Oh, happy birthday. They're singing happy birthday. Don't tell me happy. I don't want to hear about that birthday. Thank you, darling. That's so nice. I don't know if I want I'm very torn on that birthday. I'm very torn. You understand me? I'm very torn.
Guys, ladies and gentlemen, the corporate that started 9/11 with the construction crew, Donald J. Trump, murdered them people in New York. And I'm not scared of telling you. That's why the helicopters and the trains has military vehicles on it. He has been bought out by George Soros and the EU. And it happened February the 19th, 2016. Before he even came in office. The Simpsons was right. They predicted it. Everyone, he's coming for you. If you're not rich, and if you're poor, he's going to kill you. Have a nice day.